Hello, 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 everybody. This is Grace with Grace on a Journey Channelings. Welcome to the newcomer, and to those of you returning, welcome back. Well, this episode is a bonus episode because it is an energy check-in. So I have a spread that I am being motivated to share and interpret. And take what you want and leave the rest. Don't make it fit in. If it resonates, you will know. So, the first card I received is yes, your idea is divinely guided. So that's telling me someone is being motivated in some direction, but needed some type of confirmation. And because you took the time to connect, you are being given your confirmation. Whatever project that you were debating, you weren't sure enough if you could, if you had the confidence that you needed to accomplish it. One thing I'd like to tell you, especially if you're doing something for the highest good of all, if you're doing something that you were called to do, fulfilling a soul's purpose, being in alignment with God's will for your life, you will notice as you commit yourself to whatever it is that you're being called to do, the roads will open. You'll be provided for. Confirmation. You'll also be guided. In what directions you need to take. And your intuition will be on fleek. No time for faulty. But it takes commitment. Go for it. Next card is inspiration. That's what you just received, right? Creative spark. Imagination. Conception. For some reason, I'm being guided to give some insight or advice for those of you that experience creative blockages. One of the ways that you can get back into your flow, right? That brings you energy to create is just simply by doing what it is you love to do. Not only that, but participating in the things that you love to do that require self-expression. Now, those of you that are creative don't even need me to give any examples or to go in between the lines for you to further gain insight of where to go about this. But those of you that are young on this journey and somehow believe that you have a contribution to give in relation to self-expression, but you don't know from where to begin. Start where you're at. Whatever it is. Designate a time, a scheduled time for you to devote to whatever project that you are working on. Regardless if you find yourself sitting at your desk and just creating a brainstorming exercise. In fact, when you don't know where to begin, that's one of the best tools that you can utilize in order for you to get somewhere, right? You have to see it on paper in order for you to continue to build on it with detail. And eventually arrive at your goal of completing and achieving your dreams. Another thing, before we move along, connect or follow or surround yourself with others that project high vibrational, creative energy. If you want to be inspired, be around those that inspire. If you want to be motivated, be around those that are motivated or motivating. The goal is to position yourself. Position yourself. Be at the right place at the right time, doing the right thing. The next card is trust. And I believe that's a guardian angel in the picture. And to me, the ball of light signifies a higher vibration. And I'm being led to tell you to focus on the light. Keep your life high vibrational in all areas. I could have said to keep your life high vibrational as much as you can. But that's not going to cut it. I said that is not going to cut it. If you want to move forward, and receive the abilities to co-create and manifest in high vibrational energy, you are required to maintain, not to start and then pause or stop, but to maintain levels of high vibration in every area of your life. So those of you that say, well, I apply myself. I put a lot of effort in. I say affirmations. I balance my chakras, but are still attached to people, places, or things. that affect your abilities to stay in alignment with your highest good? Now I'm going to believe that you have enough knowledge to be solution-minded and decide for yourself, I want this bad enough. Because I want to arrive at my highest potential. And I am willing to let go of what's holding you back. Only you know what's holding you back. And when we meditate on it, we realize when the illusion is removed and the masks are removed, that we were holding our own selves back. By putting a person, place, or thing before our needs were met. Stop holding yourself back. Trust light. Trust God. Trust the power of God. The next card, dignity. A wise man has dignity without pride. A fool has pride without dignity. Confucius. First of all, how is dignity I could say the word enforced, but I'll say developed in your life? It's as easy as doing the next right thing and choosing to continue to do the next right thing. Because the truth is, we do know right from wrong. without being told, without being led. In fact, all the answers are already inside of you. Those of you who are spiritual beings of the light that are having a human experience, have feelers, so to speak, inside of you. When you do something that's right for you, you feel it, right? You're also in the awareness that when you do something that's right for you, you do something that's right. For the good of all. Something that is not designed to be unkind. You also know and feel inside of you when you are in the wrong, when you are acting inappropriately. It doesn't feel right. It makes you uncomfortable in your own skin. Constant failure to correct and redirect yourselves from participating in activities that are not aligned with your highest good only leads to mental illness. Right? Depression. Anxiety. Waiting for the other shoe to drop. Because sometimes during the cycle, eventually you will be faced to pay your balance. There are many ways to pay your balance. This is all related in your offense. But the day of reckoning comes for us all. Pay attention to your feelers. Why is it anytime you participate in whatever activity it is that you are not in alignment with, you're experiencing headaches, stomach pains, back pains, shortness of breath, heart palpitations. I said, why is it? Because inside, right? Inside, you do know with what is not aligned with your highest good. The next card is rejection. This is when you are not in alignment with your highest good. And you feel exposed. You feel judged. You feel you've been caught red-handed. In fact, you reject yourself. It began with not comporting yourself with dignity. Painting lies. Being recognized as not only mentally ill, but spiritually ill. Being cornered to accept the truths that you deny. Rejection. Next card. Make time for self-care. Taking care of yourself is essential right now. This message is especially for those of you that have decided to align yourself with your highest good. One of the ways that you can accomplish that goal is by strategically designing a schedule prioritizing yourself. in areas of your physical, in the subcategories, your mental, and the subcategories, and your spiritual, and the subcategories. Physical. Are you getting enough rest? Are you sleeping? Mental. Are you speaking your truth? Do you have a support system? A place that you feel safe enough to be vulnerable? A place that others can hold you accountable? A place that you will feel free enough to self-express. Spiritual. Do you know God? Do you know God? Is God a friend of yours? Do you communicate throughout your day? Do you communicate when you wake up at night? Are you spiritually rooted? What efforts are being made to keep your physical, your mental, and your spiritual life balanced? Consider these things and make time for self-care. Next card is flow of prosperity. Notice how that follows self-care. Prioritizing your needs. Bringing balance into your life. Then flow of prosperity. Increase in what? Follow me. I said the card prior to flow and prosperity is make time for self-care. That would be bringing balance into your life. As you bring balance into your life, you increase balance in your life. Flow of prosperity. Next card was reversed. Upright, it reads, let your friends help you. Ask for and accept support from others. But because it is reversed, it has a different storyline. It's telling me that some of you refuse to let others in. Some of you have your chakras blocked. Confirmation. Some of you are in need of healing. It's also telling me the opposite end of the spectrum, which is some of you believe in the people you have surrounding you and categorize them as friends. But in truth, they are reversed. They are not in the intention of bringing support to you or your path. Either way, open your chakras. Balance your chakras. Because you need balance to be open to receive wisdom, to believe in your intuition, and to regain your power. You can only control yourself. Yes, there are illusions that make you believe that, oh, I can control others too. I can do magic. I can blackmail. I can pay people money to do things that they would never do without these incentives. But in the end, it's just an exchange of energy, because you can only control yourself. So whether or not you've accomplished by having someone execute a task or fulfilling your will, that is only for a moment in time. Change requires self. Control connects to self. Illusions are a lie. Next card is Angel of Strength. See, when you walk with God, when you choose light, you are surrounded in strength. With coverage surrounding you. And to those that don't know, with coverage surrounding those you love. Because God is aware that these agents of the dark are in so much desperation that they're not only targeting you, they're targeting your circles. And so by request, in prayer, in affirmation, in vigilance, you can gain coverage for yourself and all those you love and are dear to yourself. You ever notice being in someone's life and things seem stable, and soon as you disconnect with that individual, sometimes with that place of employment, confirmation, and you notice everything falling apart. See, it was your good karma. It was your high vibrational energy. It was the God in you. That kept the energy in high standing. Strength is something to be admired. Nothing to be frowned upon. Strength is a gift from God. Those in their strength that are targeted to be broken down will bring karma to those who offended God. God is their strength. Let me repeat that slowly. God is their strength. So when you are trying to break down their strength, you are in the illusion of targeting them. But reality eventually sets in. When you are compensated with the wrath of God. Be careful. Be careful. Be careful with God's own. Next card is leaving or travel. I'm being made aware that this card has several meanings. One of them is that those that are aligned with their soul's purpose understand that you are God-led. There are assignments to fulfill. You may be stationed at a certain location from the beginning of the cycle to the end of the cycle. But upon the end, there is a new cycle. Which aligns you with travel. You are not meant to just connect with those in your immediate environment. We are more connected than we wish to accept. True story. But God knows what's best for our souls. He signs off when you've taken your class and you've passed the test and you get your promotions. Accompanied by deserving with deserving reward. Leaving or travel. Can also mean you recognizing the presence of disalignment in your life, whether it is a person, place, or a thing, and deciding to leave. To leave and move to calmer waters. This card also means those that are called to fulfill God's will and have surrendered to their calling Will, let me stress it again, because some of you have to make peace with that. Will experience loss with the gain. Because you have to make room for the gain. So you have to release to increase. You will witness people growing apart. You will witness people transitioning. You will witness people in a season of vegetation. Leaving or travel is in relation to accepting the end of a cycle. And those that can't accept the end of a cycle those that refute the energy of the tower will leave God's children alone. By what means? By any means necessary. Even if He allows you just one more breath. You see, when God says, let my people go, I said, when God says, let my people go, and you choose to continue to be a boil that keeps resurfacing due to uncleanliness, the doctor comes in and surgically extracts it from your skin. You will leave because it's time for travel. Next card is recovery. I love how this is flowing. You can't deny this is flowing. Recovery. This card indicates a need to address deep-seated ancestral wounds that are impacting our current life in form of emotional or mental imbalance. I would also include my input, which is spiritual imbalance. This is in association to those generational curses that keep reoccurring in your bloodline. Due to refusal to align self to your highest good. Allowing that hindrance to repeat cycle after cycle, even after its expiration date. So God had to step in. I said God has to step in and designate a generational curse breaker. He selects it from the crowd of followers. He selects it from the crowd of hypocrites. Confirmation. Right on cue. Right on cue. He selects it from the crowd of those who rejected it. Rejected the worthiness of the elect. Next card. Go with the flow. Paddle on. If you want to remain in your wellness, aside from aligning to your highest purpose, you must flow with the the flow and the living waters of God. There will be times that you experience unexpected tides. Disturbing weather. Frantic encounters. There will be times the waters will be calm. Cool. And collected. And with your God-given discernment, you adapt to the balance given. And God handles the rest. Don't fight the tides. Go with the flow. And don't sink. Regardless of the hurt, the pain, the backstabbing, betrayal, theft, false accusations, framed. Don't allow your emotions to remove your crown. Don't sink. The next card is perception of unity. Protects against accidents. Heals the sick. This is telling me some of you are very well supported. Those who sent separation, See, I love the picture I'm seeing on this card, because it is as if his arm is positioned in a way as if he's sending it back. He's sending back the separation spells. See, sometimes they want to separate you from God because they know that will separate you from the will and the fulfillment of being aligned with your soul's purpose. That is strategically attempted by bringing disruption into your life, attempting to break you down, sending poor excuses of life in your direction to love bomb you, to steal from you, to lie on you, to betray you, to be a Judas to you. But it's sent back to sender. Protects against accidents. This is telling me that indeed that the little horrors of horror continue with their spell work in attempts to bring accidents in your life, whether it is physical, mental, or spiritual. But again, it gets returned to the harem and coven it came from. Heals the sick. Yes, you've experienced loads of distress, depression, anxiety. Until you allowed the strength of God to be the guide. and followed the winning plan. How do you overcome anxiety? You face your fear. Some of you have a fear of going to the doctor. Doing your lab work and being in the clear. You feel me? See, you have to face your fears. Figments of your imagination appearing real. And God shows you that I never left you. I will always be with you. It's my job to protect you. God is real, people. For those of you doubting, God is real. Especially in the lives of those who believe. I believe. If He's done it for me, I know He can do it for you. Don't allow your head to swell. And believe, because you have a crystal, a feather, an amulet, that you are protected. Can we get real? Because the true protection must be aligned with God's will. So even if the hypocrites, the holy roller hypocrites, that are in church Sunday and doing rituals Saturday. In the same white clothes for first Sunday. Jesus. Even though they take what they believe is a spiritual bath, even though they pay who they think is the biggest mambo around, even though they cannot overpower the will of God. Let me tell you the joke. In 2021, I told the enemies that were targeting me that you will spend your last dime sending evil manifestations of dark magic towards me. They received a prophecy. And they fulfilled they fulfilled the prophecy. They neglected their kids. Neglected supplying them with their needs. Neglected managing their child support the way that the father would be pleased. Because in their pea brains, they believed that paying for low vibrational black magic is the key. I tell you. Psychosis is real. I mean, can you doubt it? When you've repeatedly gave warning of the outcome that will be witnessed on an international platform. And they fulfilled it. When I tell you God is real, don't doubt. Just believe. It was even brought to my attention that some of those that were attempting to kill me, underneath the leadership of the Fairy Gone Wrong clan, and the morgue, and morgue and clan. That some of them would finally believe after witnessing what they've seen, that indeed God is real. Do you see how God can use you too? Do you see the amount of endurance that it took to make one believer out of none? See, that task is not easy to fill. And that's why you can't take the title at your own will. It was earned and well deserved. Stay in your lane. Why am I hearing? Stay in your lane, Cain. Jokes, jokes, and more jokes. Be careful. Those of you that have committed treason against your ancestors. Those who know. No. I said those who know. No. You see? Because when you go that route, you sold them out. And you must pay. Because that's what they say. Adrift. Letting go. Allowing a higher force to take charge for a time. You see, you are being reminded that you have support, right? In fact, you have a universal spiritual support team. Beloved, high vibrational ancestors, right? God and his appointed angels. Those who know, know. I said those who know already know. Next card is fulfillment. Wishes coming true. Realizing dreams. Happiness, cheerfulness, joy, fulfillment, positivity, optimism, satisfaction, success, abundance, prosperity, achievements, rewards, confidence, high self-esteem, and triumph. Sound like anybody you know? To me, it sounds like God's own. The next card is cosmic knowledge. Those of us that have been favored to receive cosmic knowledge. Understand the bigger picture is balance. I said the bigger picture is balanced. You see, balance is the fruit of the universe. So be careful with what you put out, because eventually it has to come in. The next card is deception and envy. And this man appears he disappointed himself. He deceived not only his team, he deceived his own confirmation. He deceived his own self and continues to share the low vibrational energy categorized as envy. Jealousy, and envy is not of God, holy rollers. Maybe you need a highlighter and you need to highlight those verses in relation to jealousy. Maybe you need to write it in the back of your notes section. In the book that you uphold, right? Your weapon, your holy book, right? Maybe it's time to remove the dust on it, right? Fake hypocrites. Next card is brazen. Boldness. Yeah. Prancing around. Look at what I can get away with. Until they notice leaving or travel. Wow. Talk about rude awakenings. Hermitage. Sometimes God separates you. He allows the isolation effects of the spell work that your enemies conducted to take effect. So you can look and connect to Him. Because in their desire to break me down, and keep me with a frown, they conducted isolation spells, right? Rejection spells, right? Loss of confidence spells, right? What their pea brains did not acknowledge is God had the opportunity to take me places I've never been before. In this physical world. And the insight I've gained, the lessons I've learned, the power now proclaimed is all makes it all worth it. No hard feelings, no regret, just gratitude. Gratitude to finally experience my reflection in God's eyes. You already know I am who I am, right? In the eyes of God, right? Nothing more. And nothing else. Nothing less. The next card is stand up for what you know is right. We are supporting you. A beautiful, ancient, abundant tree. With a multitude of branches. And leaves flourishing. And the sun in the background. Those who are rooted, well rooted, and in the light, you're being reminded that you are supported. Because you take part of the tree of life. See? Some people walked away from life because they made a wish for death. And they are no longer a branch. Remaining. And our last card for today is necessity, foundation, prerequisites, requirements. For protection, for the ability to develop a spiritual practice, My question to you is, those that are looking for titles, what must be done before proceeding? Review the areas that you are lacking and stay in your lanes. I am who I am in the eyes of God. Nothing more, and certainly nothing less.